range instead of a point.
Emphasis on one.
Let's see how it goes. My interest is not say me predict it say abem de nyame adom one day if I'm not there. One thing I'll be happy about. Number one, to see the acceptance that where be a person or your research be in a population like ours. You don't have the luxury to say me interview Nipa 2000. You must come under the minimum sample requirement. And number two, so I mean, so and also cry no me many this week. In fact, I heard West like every day and 100 constituencies built.
I
mean, there are written reports to suggest that conclusions were drawn from 100 constituencies. See, I'll say reshuffling. And maybe the first 100, some the next reshuffling, maybe some constituencies that were not in the 100 would have then come on board and come on board. So after several reshuffling, maybe all the 276 has been accounted for. It is a subtle admission. Say Ghana has sabi Minia Collins mention enough. Anyone no one in chain as a as one constituency the dynamics are different.
Even though some up to bang
adjoining, but still they are not the same.
It's true. And any assumption that in such a heterogeneity condition, working with 100 can be used to represent 276, Nipano should check his literature again. And I'm speaking as a professor of race. I'm happy, and the reasoning is becoming scientific now. And I'm sure, say, by the next 4 years, I bet you see another electionary period. No. Oh, you been solid research. I fit it all. You interested in train fits. You interested in train economic intelligence unit. Who will not have time for you, Ghana?
Now, fetch solution. Crowd no patch or America.
And American.
Kamala Berry.
Let's cover the local adina capacity. Say, come to our universities, Brakwame.
Yeah.
Me reporting we professors are frame over 16 on their own. Me wabaku WhatsApp message we has to see here from all hawks of Adi appreciating the intellectual work that has been done. Me bompa say sa emotions atemdidi any den nyina be free na nka be hu knowledge be free universities mo ba yete ha ye face solution then solution. Do you know what a professor in Legon or Kumasi Technical University or KNUST can do? Or no te ha no Ghana ho adaje not the underlining dynamics I say and no be oti US as bio all year for all countries in the world that wa beto afa near tier 9 office solutions. I'm not disrespecting them. In fact, they are a very renowned global body. But I'm saying, say, whilst we over rely on them, you bedu baby, you di anybeba yankasa internal capacities so. Ebi asabre no na I've lost interest. And I'm gonna say this one I just took a person. I'm a full-time university professor. I have what I do. Where just an interest I took. Ebi if it becomes necessary, I'm setting up a firm to be running those things and so I find. But until now, I don't see myself as an established firm into polling. I just want to draw people's attention to the fact that when given opportunity, my book and research allowance no mutum de kosra. Knowledge be free universities ni mu abano. They are just quiet looking on. Interest
sure.
Sabe muna research nimdia na say nyansa no nyame dia mamonkwa. Not faith, not economic intelligence, not whoever.
Moody's and Standard.
What I said, none of them.
Standard and Poor, yeah.
Yes, none of them. Me say when you put the knowledge from our universities, professors together, we will stop talking about nothing. Now just say they cry they be anywhere AGD.
Because of
somebody who had a challenge with the position of my results, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia 49.1 lead. Followed by President Mahama 45.8 lead.
Yeah, Mahama when you be 45.
Leave the politician. Statistician, not politician. Yes.
On a live TV.
Yes.
The person was wondering why in this Republic Ghana of Ghana, any senior you mat one time in Ben Obi shut down for wider margin.
Sure.
Or wonder how come I made the no make us a Dr. Mahmoud Baumia was 3.3% lead. On that same platform, the person was praising and had no problem with Minya Musa Dankwa dia na ama 12 percentage point difference between. Does that happen here in this republic?
You been 33.
Does that happen here in this republic? Na sabio media ena peace yakọ sign peace accord ni adenti media na America ka ho say o kwa akoto aba ma MPP a no akoto de enko nkosi obi a okwa akoto aba ma NDC ho kwan e de asumdwe emfa asumdwe ma sanso na akoto aba ma NDC nso a no ahweso akoto aba ma NDC na menkosi obi a ono so kwa akoto na aba ma MPP na party fufuro obi a ho kwan. Now there, let's allow a free environment, peaceful, transparent election. Now more Kenya. Me say me release me results here. Strategic shiftings have occurred.
What do you mean by strategic shiftings?
Oh, Mr. Kumase, a lot of influx of strategic political stakeholders trying to check the options. In fact,
why you can't say what the enemy papa no?
Minim say omujide in their hearts.
Are you suggesting say about to Ebeko second round?
Seriously, that would not be my wish.
But
say omu
especially
yes, no say NDC ni MPP through. Omu can the votes no enough for them to cross the 50% mark. But okay, 49.1. Na say MPP ni na sorry koye adwuma. Na ultimately cross the 50% mark. Now here 45.8. Na say NDC ni na say to me cross koye year koye adwuma na to me cross the 50% mark. And they are going to deploy all means possible.
In two patches, as of November 16 now, yes, our research no. Now obi anywhere when you 50%.
Yes.
Across but there are other opinion polls that say be 53.
But Marty 50, you see, one interesting.
I didn't know the end correct, nobody end correct.
Nyamie nimuni. Obiane ne
depends on the methodology and also the tools that you.
Some of them may be
Obiane ne background. So. Me statistics, research design and data analytics. In fact, question be baby sami biano based on my work. My answer will not be me. My answer will be science. Me heterogeneity different from obi heterogeneity. Obi feel say Ghana ye baako and that obi timi have 100 to represent 276. I disagree because scientifically, my definition of heterogeneity is already established. Yes, Ghana ye baako there. On what basis na if the mama yanyan baako na mchiche mu 276? To create a constituency, a lot of thinking goes into it. Enti me ha me hon koye scientifically there is already a defined heterogeneity the 276 constituencies. That is science. Unchire mu abechire bia na media no ebebo ebra because who kochire mu koye say any Ashanti region metimi the 9 constituencies are representing 47 constituencies. That will be up to you. Do you get it? And then in selecting the samples, meaning process be you say random. In fact, these 2 weeks, Mati randoms are. There is a difference, Brakwame, between random as a word and randomization. One is not the process of doing the other.
I see.
And here randomization will be taken as the process of doing a random sampling.
Yes.
No. Randomization means that you are setting out a model. Beer. Say the population nearby. It will select maybe at the nth or the ith person.
Sure.
Randomization suggests itself to what we call repeatability of science. Nipa neba no be found randomization scheme no. Or no be selecting the ith or the nth person in the chain, so that methods can be compared, and I said the outcomes can be compared. Randomization.
Sure.
In fact, there are several forms of randomization: randomized controls, randomized this, randomized that. There's a group in create baku exposed, baku non-exposed. In Tibia, for the exposed, we are selecting these people. For the unexposed, you are comparing. And now can random one. Me feel said the people are trying to talk about random sampling.
Yes.
Senior, random sampling is the least of all the probability samples. In fact, random sampling is supposed to be the last after you have engineered the sampling. Because minimum report in the back nipa not trying to do random sampling. Me blame no because random to say lottery. Ya also adena na yi baako.
Cha.
Ye baako no. Na ahafu. Ahafu was 6 constituencies. She random na ye kana random now. Where you back where you suti south. Or the atoho. Okay, I cost second round. She manshim and then the manshim is a random. It's random. Oh, ye na yesu na enough. Wakoye research in 2 constituencies. I conclude say NDC is winning Ahafo region hands down. The challenge is that you are using the list of the probability samples to misrepresent. They just say, you don't care the dynamics. Unfortunately for that random process, both constituencies are selected in your NDC constituencies. What do you expect as the outcome? Oko miss school, boys and girls near the old school muho. Also method that person use a simple random sample and a random mokika kaya. And was selecting nipa 100. Yes, one could be one for one shame. Okata weni and she na yi ba kuno yoba. She na yi me no yoba. It is possible so beti me 100 ni 100 ni na be ma. Who dey no kwaya research? Are you therefore saying say the school is not a girls' school?
No, we're not crying a fallacy.
It makes
a fallacy of equivocation.
Hey, Cynthia, say if we are doing this thing in class, simple random sampling will be the list of the random probability sampling processes. And I wish we learn. Maybe my predict to say I've gone beyond that. But I mean, I've predicted separate different elections. Mako 11 since I took interest in this. The Sakra will be a 96.9% accuracy.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh yes. Nini na answer ba who atemdidi enkoni emra ya ni ade ya ebewa besi nesi. And I'm not here to do. See, I'm in next level and I'm mature. If colleague doctor told me say, oh, and can say, oh, there was some reason where you know about, and it looks like you thought too much. In fact, NDC professor be a name the crack catcher and say, oh, why were you trying to do research methods 202 or
I said now try there.
But that is the point I want to carry, and not the figures that you insult me on. I want you to look at what I have written, check the other existing polls or those that will be coming in future to see whether.
Talking about polls, Kwadwo Ahodo was Sheffield, UK, or see what send you email. Now until me they send you. Me the request now send you. Okay, to Kwadwo Ahodo I was Sheffield, UK, or say emails no door so until he will get to yours as soon as possible. Another one so about I say Dr. Bamia is 50.2. Minutes when
who front page of newspapers.
I'm say custodian any ABC.
And so daily guidance. So what's what I say?
Okay, or daily guidance. Okay. What do you make of such? Because who can so be end 50%? I think maybe South and now the end was on 16th of November. 80 so Obika say Obiedo 50.2. What do you make of it?
So me who mu data or mu terminate yeah, and I'm trying to believe say in politics, and we all know this as a fact. One day can do a lot in politics. If I'm a model now, me one.
Okay, I'm gonna say if elections were held between October 15 and November 15, and about me 50.2, but what do you say by November 16, 49.1?
Yes, and you know, one day see a per se comparison. Together. I mean, I work and I can mediate. Me crammet me and moderate here. Me research nibi.
Maybe so same way. How about this thinking? I'm no way adjoining a paragraph view. I'm saying the NDC's candidate John Mahama would have won 9 regions in total. The MPP's Dr. Baumia would have won 7 regions, but Baumia will still win. How is that dynamics?
Okay, so the 9 regions, with the exception of Northeast, the 4.
Yes.
Northern, Savannah, Upper East, Upper West. That was 4.
Yeah.
5. 5 near Western North, Bono East, Volta, Oti, and Greater Accra.
Okay.
They are the regions that, per my study, NDC was in the lead.
Okay, and this the lead.
In fact, one interesting thing I'm observing in the past 2 weeks, the only regional resource they believe. Greater Accra because they know of OT and then Dada. Until the Niomuji the pound, the refer process Masapon Cra say, we knew a Greater Accra. And no, the Omuji and now on a certain platform, somebody tried to ridicule my work or whatever said, what do I mean by MPP Benya 75.9%?
Away.
Ashanti region. Meanwhile, you know that if NDC should take the lead you have given them in Greater, it's enough for them to win the election. Well, for the same report, Greater Accra there,
pick and choose.
And now what disregard the Ashanti region there. No? My response to him was very simple: say, Greater Accra is not Ghana, and that nobody should be made to believe, say, and I indoctrinated to the extent, say, Obi we need Greater Accra, just we need Ghana.
Are you sure?
Oh, let's respect the votes from the other regions.
Okay.
There are 16 regions for Christ's sake.
Okay, yeah. Back to the
NDC won 2020.
Yeah, 9 regions. The same thing.
Back to my question.
9-7.
9-7 no. And they say 9 na mabubo no. Assuming say 100% of the voters in this 9 will vote for NDC.
Assuming, yeah.
Assuming. Means say obi be yare yankasa yare
Profana dosun.
Ayo. Brother me. See if fan say sa regions in kunu ya 9 ya mabubo so yi. You fan say hey sa da no ye say obi a betu bia otoma party fufuro kra ye be kan aka NDC die ho. Enti omanya 100%. Ye de ato nchan. Sa 7 regions no a ekoma NPP no. Eastern region, Central region, Western region, Ahafo, Bono, Ashanti, and Northeast. You find the regions 7 years so. Obi also vote yes akaya my NPP. NPP would win the election with over 600,000 votes. What am I saying?
Is it because of numbers? Nipa na edoso hontia. Into bet me winning more regions, but only numbers.
That has been the case in Ghana. In fact, we got to a point where Obi winning 8 out of 10. And so the 2 regions, with the support of votes, a free, one. That is why I want us to give equal respect to votes. I free abonteni adinina eban. Yente Ghana say. Yente Ghana say. Na yedi any different from. Oko can say America cry no, and na UK cry no.
Ghana is
over 200 and something years ahead of us. In elections in Ghana, one day could to make us say in America, hey, it will take a longer time for change in the people's mind to occur. Advancement, literacy. Then Ghana, you were constant 6 million beer. Me share the latest figures. Say be a move back or so kakra. I feel my expect some better abani over 14 million. Out of the 18 million. Emra 17 million, about 13 million about 2 years. My year all this estimated breakdown. And then I was doing some analysis being in my room and then mystery. I was trying to ask myself, say, for a unit change in turnout, what would be the effect on me 49.1 and then me 45.8 in the so. Then so I was just tweaking the numbers and to me say 81.4 na ya me you know. Me do the third tweak. They call me say 83.4 and be no. Now there was a massive change in the results. In fact, 1 cause so much change. 2 cause so much change, but me call 3, which means Ghana yetiminya a national turnout no up to 84.3 and 0.4%. There is no way I better run off.
Okay.
Me chene say nipa dubia uni mom wo mantemu ana wo fi ana wo baby kakra bia wo wogina no. Nipa du no say mu 8 ana 8.5 ni 0.5
ni chef say be nipa be nwotwe wo say du no.
Nwotwe ne fa. Etimi kura akoto aba bronya ye bedi.
No run off.
Na wo kodi bronya na wa adwene wo run off so na ye ko he ni e ba he ni e ba he.
Maybe so we are professor of statistics and research. And now the numbers and a year Juma. But Bible must say all numbers.
Yes.
As of for no omodia when was our statistics.
Brakwame.
Oh, the Nyankopon eka ho ana say Nyankopon ka ho. How do you reconcile
prophecy
with prophecy?
Absolutely, Brakwame. Brakwame.
Yes.
Nyaminyan semu no, and I'm not speaking minya software.
Okay.
But ye nyina nyame adom. Ye nya very proper training from a software. Make us say me papa otete me pa software Kofi Career. Sisi e wona home GM Presbyterian Church of Ghana, retired Reverend Kofi Kakari.
Osofu Kakari asumdwe nka
Man kese. Ena me mama Grace Kakari anope me chiamo. ne mebusuafo nyina me nuanom nyina ene meka say Kokrokoo our brother sisi ono so yesofo saa fa papa kakari anamomu ne adite nyame adom training ni de nyina enya bi
answer now beto aso what training no young professor asan babiom I say I'm listening to you from Nairobi, Kenya. Professor Smart Sapon is a rare real researcher and his research model is authentic. I'm a researcher too, and I've followed his research processes and procedures, and they are excellently genuine. Let's watch well his research findings on this election with much interest. Professor Razak JC, African Population and Health Research Center, Nairobi, Kenya. From one prof to the other. Where does it come in?
Good. Enti Kokrokoo ni America na say ye free Bible mu a wo the original intention of God was clear on creation. Na nyame pese oni nipanya nkitahudie direct. Enti kwan of us so a o say yemmo ne kra no. One can say yemmo in a different image or can say yemmo in own image.
His own image.
In his own image.
Yeah.
And the lifestyle brief number of years nipa ne nyame tena Garden of Eden ni mu no na nyame ba nipa ho direct na onfa dua so na onfa nipa foforo bi so na odiba direct to the first family. And that is the original plan of God. Ya tete ye me ate ase say nipa kohwe ase e ma nipa ne nyame ntamu teteye uka se memfa botae ba ko nto Bible no so a yesu so na yeko secondary school no na yese okay, passage in here, say what is the suitable theme for this passage? Okay, I need a regular English question.
Yes.
Bible no be some say my kind ni say suitable theme pen na me from my Bible na make us a God reconciling man unto himself.
God reconciling man unto himself.
Back unto himself. Because who said the first picture tells you say na sa na no pen no sa na yetie. Ena in between and all the things God did, and now the Bible has recorded, God was trying to get a way to reconcile man back into himself. Or the Daniel judges mediating between human and honor God. Or the prophets, major prophets, minor prophets, in fact, they do the man handful kings. Or the that is trace the Bible line and you follow what I'm talking about.
So he was worried.
In fact, some of the compensation na say ye dey atoni for nipa ma watimi ni nyame ntemu asan be ye no na ye emua say ponchi say nyan say ni ade ade no be me akusa enyan bebre ni nyina just to reconcile man back unto himself. Intermediate, that would have been my central theme I will give to the Bible until those means of reconciling man no became unbearable. In fact, enkebedu baby nkemwa nyina besa. Ankebedu baby. In fact, obi na ese okokronkron ekokodi kra ma o nipa de kra ho nte kra no so afaso akowu ni all those things. Ena Yesu Kristo ba ya oba be ye bridge ema between yen ni nipa. In fact, Yesu Kristo kra ba no ba nipa seso. Enti wenti me mediate between us and God. Until he sent down the Holy Spirit. And now you can say Holy Spirit out here saying, "Chere say wa wonwen waso a obeti unyame ne." And I am a strong believer say me akwesi ametie say me kasa ana me bompa ya. Nyame tie. I have a lot of well wishes. So can Hebrews or say ye nananom ne adansefo bebre etayechi. But me tie with the support of me nananom ne men of God that we need time and I say people who wish us well. There are a lot of people who are praying for us, we don't know. But say me so make us say nyamitie. That kronye was so now betu nyame ne. And nay, strangely, and I'm not saying it is bad. A binom empe direct relationship with God. Into empire cry. No de ehwa kadia koja obi say
onyamano.
Yemame. That is lazy. That is not what the Bible teaches us. I'm not speaking as a pastor. I'm speaking as a child of God, and I also know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Enti adaroma sana mi de mi hu no. Ena nyame one strange thing so ne say nyame wan yese opese onu no rule this world o. Enti obeka creation no odani bibia de se nipa nsa. Hwe competition ya ekoso ya asofo say we say no. are the asofo no telling me akwesi ametia send this ni bia ankoto aba no bakwa me
meje
so for bia or person or there or proclaiming God's power properly because nyame ni eni wotimi ma ne ba ho enyaza
yes
opa on declare so in this ni bia antena dem na nyame beye you are only putting the Lord thy God into test and the Bible says do not do that
almost say abo nyina beba beto bi
you see enti mesre the conclusion of the matter is that nyame de ayina hyeyensa in fact nipa ekoto aba no semu ye nipa 100 na ekoto aba na semu 51 etuma NPP be winning not because nyame empese NPP win you we are becoming too lazy. Like, do something. Get up, go and campaign. Get your people out from their rooms to go and vote. Me say, hey, NDC 400, yeah, to about 100. NDC 451 to about, and for now, so far, him come on, masha MPP for no. Their votes will be counted. The reason is that nyame di we are saying nipansa. Uni nipa dili anu ebuade. Now bomb pay prayer warrior then now munipa you will not go far not sure. Because your God is not with you but you fail to respect nipa no and the authority nation and sano
enti asofo no momo kame me njindi
the role of the pastor is to admonish and edify members of the church ama ebinu bi ye ni pa obe show unkran to the extent say obe show unkran to the extent say sebia gap da woni onipa na ne contest ntem no ebia nipa ne di wani ebia 4% 5% a otimi gina nyame asem so hye unkran say ko na kokonkodini na 4% 5% nyame betimi
adane no
onka so fo bia papa bia nka njero say me hu osunsun mu wi ase say wedding kunim na what you didn't admonish you didn't actually inspire the person to go
and so her anke koye wasi ni nze nka so for me nkomo na nkomo ebe pass de bia eso kwame chairman akona so for man dey work for more o ye pese
o sani ye kanu na ma ye deceive nkrofo bi minimo bia in fact me akasa me hu but ye tete bi so wakotena exams room de ne pen so for ehira so amano bompa ye guso appear
pen
yeah brother o betra ho appear and you are just putting the Lord your God to test. I didn't when people ask this question in church, I didn't know no one resolve niema. Now just was answered the neighbor Jesus Christ so. That tells you, say, there is actually the working component of everything that God wants to do amongst men. In fact, my main we infantry to say, in this coming election, Ubia Kasa, Asofwa Kasa, Nipa Kasa. The solution to the end of the day will be party a obetimi aboabo ne domano emomo apakoto abawo sure mesre we bia obi aka be bia kire ono sama otimu aye oda that is not what it means amanfo bebre jetimu deso elusu things that are meant for them ade we na ka ye me chance pa minimum bi oso on de nyame na en bia ma no enti say what thesis no for almost 9 years, 10 years. Master, when we were doing our thesis for PhD, made that office, Mahadeche. Hey, I had presentations on Wednesdays and Fridays. Now every Wednesday and Friday, you must come with something new. Next just said you, maybe
Prof, 2006 na your college visa. Was any exchange program or University of Ghana? Na me Netherlands college visa. Oh, me nafufu bi mo omo bompaye omo ya konchine uni ze ko ye no me na that time na ma konchine wo for mpan me na menya service chama tuta me na menya service no it no a favor a divine favor sometimes the money be o ha
na ma menka we say bra kwa me the attributes of God no nyame yese oyodo nyame yese oyehumobro nyame osi say. Yes sir, we know the attributes of God and I'm sure the pastors know it. And I name the attributes of maybe the devil and I say papa so no attribute. When it gets to the point where asofo are ready to curse people who differ with them.
Yeah.
I insist it is not an attribute of God.
so for body anya me asman.
Oh, Brakame, I insist. And I make say Bible yin nyina yesua bi. Meti hey. And I make crowd there I believe say we bia obema ho kwa bia no. Nyame betimi akasa ma nso what be. What I'm saying is that moma ye hu the attributes of God in ebi mo, you see strange. Ebi ma fa nyame so ye nipa, nyame nye nipa o.
Sunsun.
Nyame ye sunsun. And it say if you at the point are all representing one who as nipa no there, I can grant you that. And you betimi afu, betimi say. But anytime you mention wo Yesu din mu and I say me kasa as nyame nipa no, then you must actually submit yourself to the attributes of God. Na untimi mo nyame din ensanso mfa nkyere we bufuo. The Holy Spirit, we have been told, is a very gentle spirit. O person we invoke the Holy Spirit e ma ye hu se wo nipa no, odu ahode nhyem. Asasofo no be charge bi na o bounce na oye no.
Oma vim. It's a nature back aka hiwale mi. But me misa me finally in the fe ye fan come on to us. O canon. O can say as at November 16.
Yes.
NPP benya not less than 148 seats in parliament.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so say wako all 276 constituencies.
Yes.
Why in person and a person to person?
Yes.
2 questions. Difference between a person to person now and also why interview over 100,000 people.
Yes.
Person to person.
Yes.
And your mom must have your telephone there. So I've been a demania 1. 2. Ebia kaseni a wo ye ni nyina no MPP sponsored. Na o ka amanako MPP fafa ama ye hu se o de daning crofaging. Sani ma minu so musen.
Good. But me fa last one na fe me the first one na aba.
Yeah.
In fact nti bra kwa me de na ye begie di so ho. Say e bia obi be ka asem. Na sa asem no it is reasonable. It makes sense.
That's a tasum.
A tasum. Sasem kronoano abakosem e support it. Sasem kronoano e idea e betimi ese is one of the possible options. Okay. As compared to, for example, obi beka say baby to say oforikrom me ba ye. Me beka say bia oforikrom and Ashanti region ni nyina in general. NDC e be fa. Apart from say bia to clearly depict say me person me motivate NDC no. And sanso make sense. Ghana ha ye nimbe bia dodo no atoma ba ko na medika ka say sisi e be 6 million bi ho no mo a MPP enya amaya ye babetu manya kura na enya saa almost 6 million. There were 5 different groups of people. Those constants will vote.
Ebi ne yen no.
Oh yes. Collins it way. Manade mama nisika diamond. Onya ni blue, white and red ho. And you know those constants are there. The American say, "Oh, check the report I have given out." Ena fatutu ni ewo ho no ho. Obi se wakwa koye 9 regions ewo ebi Ashanti region.
9 regions.
9 constituencies. Ewo Ashanti region.
Okay.
Osi onya a. Me say mako all the 47 constituencies in Ashanti region. Why do we expect many results to be the same? And as the same so the end of fair reflection. Now, Braka, I'm interesting thing I met 2 weeks ago. Like me, visit them to my eBay. You catch them, say, who divided some 99,300 no by 18 million no. Nigga say on the average, me interview nipa 378 per constituency. Sa nipa krono can we say on fanye mimi die ni no deje minua musa dankwa die ne de. And I'm so okay fine. I admit say me sample size divide 2000 and 18 million by 2000 so be nya say. Oh yeah no akonya 7 single 7.
Now they need 300 and something.
Yes. So my question is that assuming me die no unyi ni because of say me dey motivation ama NPP Mako baby ni nipa 7 akokasa eno gidi. But nipa 378 die no die onyi ni a. Esi usi. Enti I am the reason why me convinced say a true reflection on the ground. Nemum enye obi na se me make man team nya ne de ne say. Me follow me di nhyehyɛ a ye de research ni nyina so pepepe. Me the word random doesn't scare me because I qualify to propound a theory. I don't just have to copy an existing theory.
Sure.
I qualify. Generalized linear models, regression, and microphone. I have propounded a faith-powered model. Me qualify. I did pure statistics. It was so National University. KNUST. Inti minimum ameye. And I think say me defense me methodology. Me defense how transparent the process is. In fact, me transparent to the extent say Kokrokoo constituency ni mekosokra no. I don't determine it. I used what I call 51st percentile design.
Anything.
But me qualify to propound a design. And only say to abano ne obedin kunim na so nya 50% plus 1. Enti constituency mu no ehefa na so obi din kunim a ebetimi ama na 50% plus 1. All these things went into it too. So I rank me family laptop now. Me every polling station here in Ghana. What me so. Enti me rank here. You do mention no for example I me rank here. Now me the pass line out to us here. Sa polling stations sa besi ha no. Say agroni koso ho a wa ube win. There's no way you will not win the election. Okay, so let me enter into those areas and do my research. Until that 51st percentile, no, I am hoping say in the future people will learn. And I'm happy say my report I'm sure na enye kwa. I'm for start Kemu bro finish. I'm for start AU. So me sure say the next opportunity will be abenya bia no. Obey increasing the sample size or back off from telephone interview versus face to face. Entinye
MPP na sponsor.
Senior me buy a check. 2020 in fact me started at the 2014 but now me no at a low level now me made the exam me as a pilot period 2020 braka me no tena high full scale interview me cut on from me say nipa ba ko pe and offer me work ni serious or frame me edi mu nkomo
afi de waboni dinti
yes me nua na nakomi
o se na nakomi ape
wow in fact he knew nothing about it he heard it and called me say Chalemia, Matisse say you. Obenya kwanya ma yem famu kakra ne mentiase mpese mentiase. Enye sa wo hu. Kumase ye NPP stronghold. Kumase I was told say maba Kumase mba be cha dia mehwe so na menche ma ade. Na ne ayaye nyina ya wo kasa de wakoje ndisi posika na de kasa na chere me. Yesterday somebody met me in town and confessed and begged me so in fact no mu ntemase na afi na watemase. So 51.4 no na MPP was expecting maybe a 52.6 obi kura 56 because na abine for so yeah juma free SHS aba waste
but okay so munya na sa
conversation na here wa say no it included skirt and blouse possibility and who he was going to go against full scale I think it was 18th November 2020 and na yes admission so somewhere before the December elections Emma ye kani nyina wa ha people disagreed ebemu and apart from say me methodology di no me what track record regional elections bra call so dey na wo Kumasi the wave was towards one end me nua ode no ho Kokrokoo in fact me of akoka the nua pani koka de ono man shada antene response to me working no
but so obe kan ha say you want to me befa
oh yes
anyway to us because
at the exact percentage at 57.8 Rakwame, not only do my predictions come through, they come with me see the least I have a 96.9% accuracy. And 57.8 you say crowd it was 99.3% accurate because the 57.8 was 57.8 exactly so.
I see.
And you know the track record is in fact the very last one Menchia South everyone no more replace opening Napo or call yes
any lawyer no
any lawyer
and you yeah
in fact the one moment me problem o Kumasi no they know ebia my work is genuine but no mu hu ne say a form ne na make can different because we the papa message within the can pani kufu akosiesie bibia wie Menchia fo akasa na we akasa enti kofo opani ba kwa na oka ho na not lawyer ba fo ewa fine say omu na Kumasi fo amene omu enya omu ni minya issue kakra no mu problem say sabe me feel say nkoma na prempe ne kra na se be kwa ma lawyer ba fo ewa ho kra no a the percentage I'm talking about is
unrealistic.
Okay, so between 71 and
and you got to Ababa.
I doubt it.
Yes. In fact, to be fair, me pass no. To be fair, me catch say in fact, or say me the research be say beto abonte anka o ma me nkona way and the begu many mase.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, the meanings are not person we me too as a researcher. I know I am not God. What I know is that I do the right thing. And so the likelihood of my predictions coming through is very high. Me cry the mean Samsung ka say, "Mama me the name mo me say prove me wrong." Mon koye juma na mon se sane me maka no. That's what I want to see the stakeholders do. Na me dey say enu achi no. Be say NDC form penny for be trooping to Ashanti region. Bisa me new Collins.
Oh, ni post ne buy.
Penny for ye ho adwuma. Nti wo betena ho no ma didi ata.
This Ashanti region hotels e kro NDC form nya baby na.
Sir?
Omo nya jai do omo ye bia na bego. Ebe form ze rapture.
Rock me.
Yes, Prof.
Quickly, phone calls versus face to face. Me not here can say.
Yeah.
If you look into my eye and we are having a conversation one on one, Ubenya may answer, but Ubesanya additional information of my body language. Ubesanya a confirmation of my environment as compared to my answer. Some is you TV craminibi, and so here ye.
Ebi oho.
Ye ne bomechi. Asitene mo edu yete aduane kura ye nya bi ni. Enso ebi ana emu abusu o me kitchen my eye can see. Enti obi a won advantages and disadvantages, but the highest or the method that gives you the highest information is face to face. Yes, it is costly and time wasting because obi on me say onya da je ma no. Why busy? Untimi nso force no say answer me net. Then it has those deficiencies to it at the but it has proven to be the best because my additional information in addition to the answer wow to me pick in fact this political adi me wow message from the community because communities need to be on you don't need to ask them questions to know omu problem obaya to signboard kakraka so ne boho udu ya anu ehu. And last week, you identify Tunkwase, number 1, number 2, 4, no network, no vote. I never want me report in the moon. And face to face will always be the best method. Resources and time, we need time, especially now open time. I don't know, but then I say, my telephone, because telephone there, what you have here, you can call a lot of people. And I am surprised that even with telephone calls, we still don't see the need to increase sample size.
Into which you said telephone doesn't give accuracy.
You see, you fall on it when you are like who need adagye no need then they are the better face to face now. No are falling on it. And also be more information
cheap.
But unya the additional issues now while betimi observe it.
Okay.
A cronimu so mu kwan ye so mu kwan ye. Say nipa ne kan okra so on kan okra nchro. You and I are not there. Yes,
you and I were not there.
We're not there. And now, Braka Mamen can't also say Ghana ni be anywhere. Any person ponya Ghana for Punkwa. Said you cry na business on what to say on Casa me hoye. So, Brunya ye baby. Brunya way there to say, oh, Brunya way there, Nyaka Braka me. Last, yes, oh, and it never be a very common answer to hear. Or my new heading, quite a common answer. But nipa no or catch on no senka out in anymore. And you can measure his response against the observations that you can do around. Menka say telephone enye. But so wadajia mo amuti research students listening to us this morning. I'm saying that if you really have the time, don't choose the easiest and the weakest of the methods. Sure. Do you get it? Unless you are who need time, like never be a deity out there,
and you are
then you can fall on.
You have the resources.
The adi, but say a unit the episode in fact, go for face to face.
Also be as a me student or child you kufia na nke brepa o.
Oh dem.
Obe fitri. Eka obe mi brepa na. Onim say
we mathematician. Also mo dey. Ye mfa bi nka ho, ye mfa enti no.
Onim say obi send me picture. Ye ko achiasu ko bi. What Django office.
Mo bondazi.
No. Achiasu mo nya bondazi.
Yeah, oh.
Django of a school. No to cry. Yeah, can a school assembly.
Uniform way. Like some show be.
Dabi, yeah, the theater in the corner.
Drill media teams be joining military now. Military intimation uniform be.
For
where they are not students. Eti Nuruddin was sending me picture or bush no Django of a school actually. And Nuruddin, wherever you are, I salute you too. Thank you very much for that one. But Prof, as a Chief Berry, you know, Obi say, I'm a researcher too. Findings from Professor Sapon are refreshing. It shows the relevance of scholars as opposed to just mere political talk. I want him to take you to the next level of the advanced level or the advanced level. I be exit polls in the future. Or see no wusu awatonsu. Are you thinking about exit polls?
Oh, in fact, my initial arrangement, no, I'm say my baseline, na my you know, like my midline, na my end line, like my exit.
Okay.
Unfortunately, me benya ye ni ase ni enim no, me mama efianso ni be free mu ma. My arrangement be eba in the course of the year. And na nyame adom metime de me end line report na ba. Nia it is possible say betimi aye you know exit poll no, very very possible if there is time, especially say anko run off no na say mo be yin em frequent 10 mama yen there, then we can also round it up before the year ends. Nti yanhwa senia penny for the recommendations say abe ba koye adwuma na the outcome of December 7th will be. But as a researcher there, I wish them very 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 well. Where bia nia yakan enya no kran to be to actually there wasem.
Yeah, can wasem no maybe can wasem ba kon, but no me dey try me dey call us. Me dey baby sound. Chairman General, the trooping of NDC leaders into Ashanti region MFA is non-fa. We have already decided for MPP Lampard, a man from Kumasi, tells Smart Sapon that both MPP and NDC are glued to Kokrokoo, lie in Tema. Okay, move on. Research is good. It helps to shape your self-concern. Iron City. Ask Professor Sapon, how can one get access to his or her constituency 2024 election dynamics from his research? I want to know about Kintampo North, Master Planner Junior Kintampo, NAD, Eno, Ebaye. Okay. Now, Prof,
yes, sir.
The direct question to you. Has Prof ever been a TESCOM patron? Is he a member of the MPP? Can he publish his work plus his methodology so we can clear the air? The NDC youth organizer and the deputy youth organizer are all saying the same about TESCOM and MPP. O'Neill and Ponsa in Amsterdam.
Good. Braka,
yes, sir.
Braka, me Papa Penny Bako, Professor Menu Sapon. Or Kumasi Technical University.
Yeah.
Pharmacist Kesiepa or Kona Humi James Ubusubwa University. No. Or send me article be. Na issues we in a womb. Na him the issue anuma kalano boldly crowum. Yes, say, Braka me. In that article, me be Pushama is here.
Pushama
me call parliamentary primaries. Ewo Collins.
Whoa.
I can see him. Yes, not only am I a MPP card-bearing member and a TESCOM patron, me a failed parliamentary aspirant for Menchia North.
Collins, who know
that? The second Collins here. Collins say that been in the history of Menchia North. A brother Kumasi Bembo and say a friend Kumasi creating Menchia North, and na me. Unfortunately for whoever published that grant, Menchia North.
Okay.
Meteo Foricum, Kenya, Foricum constituency. A whole matter ever since I went to Kumasi. Mintu Abakra or Hoda. Near the mediatic neighbors and now 2 issues. Patron of TESCOM, and now we know. Be a Dean of Students Deputy at Kumasi Technical University. Sometime that time now Professor Engman and the dean and I'm the vice dean. It is a Professor Engman there's all co-student programs in but as a dean, vice dean, only me I'm representing.
Sure.
Or no more mukasa me a TESCOM patron. I can produce to them pictures I mention me what me Minia Yamin. Mene, yeah. Minia Sami Jemfi. Minia, Otukuno. Nomniade. In a massive NDC program at the Great Hall, Kumasi Technical University.
Ebia Sata na wotin.
Ebia Sata na wotin. And then I have other programs too that has been organized by TESCON that I have attended. TESCON
in your capacity as vice dean.
Oh, no. Now, Braka, me the vice dean. Every SRC election on Kumasi Technical University campus, Opa Fre, be a tomb na KSTU students in Fre. I don't know how it happens, but the students actually feels that I have a role to play in the SRC elections that happens in KSTU campus.
Into your electoral commissioner.
Bibisa, and that me kwala a tie ben me no. Oko SRC president a wini, oko secretary wini, oko den a wini, oko hefa wini.
Oh, wini, they don't win. They win. Okay.
They win. Because of that, it looks like Brahma office that group students in Kwa every day. TESCON, Tain, if you want to color them, but I see them as students. All the presidents of SRC that has come KSTU since 2012, you bet me I show into NDC and MPP. The students who Tain and then. It must a free munyamefane currency.
Amen.
It must cry there. No, youth organizer ma Achuma Kwangoma NDC.
Really?
And so he was like this with me on campus. He died. No, come a team. No, nyamia do monusu win SRC president.
Or you're pro students.
Na hwe me fie ya me di say braka won say sometimes me students na mo a obi timi bi say me say my assignment my submit
only omu na yepe
staircase so a full staircase too was a chale kan ho na assignment time as jama the WhatsApp to the hwe me ni no ka so whoever is saying that is getting it wrong. NPP a party papa, NDC a party papa. Me the way they have spent time to build their party, me fair. And another be am just do for say parties and get one so nyamre and build your parties the same NPP ni NDC. Anytime I decide to do politics, I just say be another party for be a bar. More attractive than the MPP and the NDC. I am likely to belong to MPP or NDC. Mamen can say I have a very useful friends and family in NDC, some of whom have occupied national positions before. Sansun and more very useful friends in NPP, some of whom have also occupied national positions before. Me ye Ghanaian, Ghana ha MPP ni NDC ni ye nipa baako. Me Bokumase and as Ashanti region NDC for Abaso, their communicators still through. Abaso, the way they relate. Kumasi oba honma, sa gegegege yakoso won kran ya say ebi mutumi kun studio ni ade ebi nzi o. They are all relating very nicely and I relate with all of them nicely. In fact, ebi mu kwa didi matem kra research abai. Fuseni donko me chiawa no pay. Zuba onso me chiawa.
Fuseni donko.
Ebi mu ko didi matem kra friends Dodovi me chiao.
Dodovi me tin nkan che.
Ultimi frame ka say prof what dey ade be there.
Anopay. I don't know Emre.
And Sakra no Mako station.
Dodovi mini po.
Enti I wish all of them well. That is what I can say.
Okay.
Enti the Mokika Canadian nyina doesn't take the fact away say a professor of research has conducted research. Can you imagine Professor Frimpong Boateng akoye heart surgery? Now so ye MPP ni and now ye NDC ni no. What are you talking about?
Frimpong Boateng akoye heart surgery.
Aye.
Na okwa dey.
O say o ye NDC ni o ye MPP.
There be on podi enim say MPP ni inti heart surgery ni enye correct.
That's what I want people to think about.
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
Prof, obisho pese oye or contested elections parliamentary. Now in the next 4 years, or pese we survey manu.
Yeah. Of
which party will win? A. Can he help you
in 2028? Or pen them do. Oh, Barbara Kwame, Nyamiadom, I sometimes serve as coaches to some of these parliamentary candidates you see. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Anyway, Chief Baini say, remind Prof that God helps those who help themselves. We'll do our bit, but God has the final say. You can do your best, but if God does not approve, forget it. Why did Nana Akufo-Addo visit Reverend Owusu Bempah? To appreciate the work of God. Finally, why are we in this cathedral wahala? Faith is the deal. The God of John Mahama will speak. Good day to you guys. Chief Baini. And
Chief Baini said you're kind of biblical. The name they trace more for Bible you trying to be say God helps those who help themselves. It's not in the Bible.
Now some kinds of Bible.
Or can say God believes in effort. So be it. It's in the Bible say more form.
Kwame, some of these pastors who prophesy a victor of an election do so for their own interest. They do try your luck. Otherwise, how can the same God reveal two different winners to different pastors? Pythagoras and no abaye. Pythagoras eyasemum. Obiso de bakubia bremba tin na obo Peace FM abaso obo Kokrokoo abaso yada say. You say Peace FM is your number one station and you're learning a lot from Kokrokoo. Thank you so very much. Ganaba Okaijo, CEO Ganaba Enterprise. Ganaba Okaijo, CEO Ganaba Enterprise. Yeda se bebre se ode we abraham. Regards to Prof, remind him to add that the phone method was very useful during the COVID when person to person was a challenge. And that is one of your own, also academic, Dr. Sylvester Che Jamfi. Silly. Good morning to you and have a beautiful day. Mike in Bogos said, why is Chief Baini listening to you and sending you messages? Is the NDC listening to Kokrokoo? They are listening more now than ever. What hypocrisy is that? Mike, well, it's radio, it's out there, and anybody who feels like can listen. Abia being involved is another matter for another day.
General, Peace FM there. Won't you grab it you? Because when I'm marketing information center, you bogu Chief Baini so Abia no akodi dwan woba. Eti wo pompo beti.
Chief Baini. And over to you. Say Chief Sudia. Miami nipa.
Chief dear.
Miami nipa. Eja.
And I want to say on say NDC ni.
And NDC for said it.
No.
What do you mean? NDC for said it.
On say NDC ni.
No, on say ni.
No, on say was say NPP ni abranti. Just wakasa answer knows where NDC ni.
Oh how?
Oh no. Chama General, I'm date amekasa. Ono awonim.
Debbie na NDC for almost said it.
Oh. Chama just NDC for the omu pie ba ohun.
Chief Baini NDC. Obi anim ni bia ni so NDC.
Ono omo general ono omo national chairman. Ese nu ketia opie ba no so NDC ni.
Then
o sira hu so NDC ni. Ibi o ye bia hu so NDC.
We scientific.
I like that.
We're political.
How can a political just scientific? Eti we dey me no nya adwin. Obe ya ma Chief Baini obe san ba be fire. So wa unipa. Obe ba be fire. 88 days from now. Ya beto. The baby senior Professor Smart Saponi afemunu. Wa chichim. Chief Collins.
Chama General Medase. Mamenda Prof so ase. In fact, the academic exercise or the beto abontene no. Nipa bi has struggled so hard to find fault with findings or the buyer.
Prof, obisi min kancho say once the chief is at it, kwesimintim or say that can you tell us about the 5 constituencies in the Secondary Takrady metropolis? Or say you're having kwesimintim. Anyway, we'll come to that. So if you have any information you want to share with us, the 5 constituencies in the Secondary Takrady metropolis. Yeah, Chief Mintio.
Chama General, medase ne akwanya diama. 8 days to go.
Yeah.
Who wins December polls? My main chassis and free special voting na beba so
Joada.
Na may appeal to security agencies no teach you you know police for Ghana National Fire Service, Ghana Immigration Service, Prison Service, army Ghana forces omo any central for any electoral commission ku workers omo mo na ekwa koto saba no na chairman general anopai me hwe nyankopon anim na me ne ye bambofo a omo koto saba no akasa se wa obetima hwe nyankopon anim pa koto abatia NPP aban no me gitumpa se adwuma na wo ye na na obedi e kire se ya ye adwuma ya hye woni monyam honestly say for Ghana Armed Forces to be specific where ye program bit is a Barras Regeneration Project and yema ya ye no wo say Ghana Armed Forces including omo allowances any salaries ya pejemu procurement of high occupancy buses there more SUVs just a doors on aircraft so many things and ya housing unisa ya peja mu ediama wo mu ya establish FOB oko Jomoro district oko Tamale ohun de meche no chairman general 6 battalion of infantry and airborne force omu nyina obi anya ne de chese aban no yeso committed omampanyini no ye commander in chief of Ghana Armed Forces no aye na famu die bi including UN peacekeeping allowance be a kemu na you only woman little over $14 million na sasika NDC abantment chiama womu na ye ba ye behwe yi free ho esa hwe hunu se omo kakrawa a womu enya kwanya eco peacekeeping na e wo se de ma womu aban adi ni huni e wo esa kwan ni so enti mesre se abano omu kwa koto no morning konko yet said the propaganda yenuan when this for the name e Barras nim so ne say allowance ketu e bi kra ho na sa ban farmer mu amunyina so mfanto abenti adabi omo hwe the larger picture omo hwe value aban ye we add to adwuma a womo eye na omo so show gratitude na minim say omo beto aba dodo na beto aba e dia ma aban say aban Dr. Baumia onsa metwa amemu papa nanado dia abrey
na special vote na nye Ghana Forces kwa neto
de be meba Ghana Police Service
security agencies
no so meba
media
meba
specialist groups to say EC officials enye security for
mebo Barras Regeneration Project
and I me pa chair we say enye Ghana Forces kwa neto
meba Ghana Police Service Chairman General, me share the police for the first time. You procure helicopters.
Media they on buy ho. Unko issue.
Chairman, me fa national.
Fire na bom na ye.
Unim. Me bia ma mo bi on say prison service enye omo de. Ghana National Fire Service ya just say ya omo nyina across board. Enye se bia armed forces nko. Ghana Police Service for instance. Share omo 320 housing units ya. Ewo training omo tesa no omo friends national training school
omo ta friend depot
yes
even though training
so beautiful
omo ta friend depot
yes almost our training school very beautiful ya constructed hangar ediama omo aye procure for the first time Ghana Police Service ya ma omo helicopters mako what you say in fact ye ba ban mu e free Dr. Kwame Nkrumah abreso ababesi former president John Dramani Mahama abreso na vehicles a Ghana Police Service wo nyina serviceable vehicles are no more na ye 492 and na me ne wo kasei ye procure more than 1,000 additional vehicles at the Ghana Police Service o share operational basis e dia ma wo mo e unprecedented enunti modern communication equipment and fragmentation jackets ya procure dia ma Ghana Police Service ya ma police adwuma na yakono aban na ma police adwuma yakono nti mesese omo enhwe hopa na brakwame chairman general abano omo ntoma ye wo call a CID for instance wo share forensic laboratory ayeye diamomo first of its kind eti ya yebi enya no nko eba National Fire Services so you procure fire tenders bebree we share 5 set of extrication ye de ama wo including 2 hydraulic platforms ye de ama wo in fact ye enyema kese e de ama security agencies no wo enhwe. And for the first time ye dwene hunu say e wo say wo kopium e wo eye nsawam prison sa ye hwese e beyi sa remand or me call remand not from convict population. I just said that dan ya page see ho no emails no over 800. Eti just the obefa bia odoko ha see hwe the area ma Ghana Immigration Service. So beautiful. Eti ya adwuma. Eti so ye police ni na say obi a wo ye constable. Na wadwene ye o say o e bia niam kese ye no ye mumpanifo na enjoy a wo so be nyina beto. Unim da sebi wo so beba betena as IGP. Eti messe emo bia mfa yaudie bia nketinketi nhye ni mu na mo nyina mo nkoto aba ne boom afen central for mo nkoto aba no New Patriotic Party.
Send is enti.
Mo nkoto aba no New Patriotic Party because when was the last time obi dey sebie obi ko hwe ajanan edigu chairman general central ni bi kwan anim me ofa Kokubako.
Between 2016 between the onim central for ya tete yomo ewo mabans onim.
Oh,
omaya bom omaye prom.
And you also be the population sample.
Debbie, me no can so say.
And it's over con the sadia and because a number insignificant onim dientia. Nipa bako bia ho hia begitum na emumu on the average, Chairman General.
Sa pepe yes and can do a Chelsea.
But Central for the sound mind to operate, and it's important. Than a brebia na chamua.
I buying 8 years no programs there na my to am Central for personal development in your faso.
Na Chairman General. Sebi. O say.
What's it?
I then check it. Achievements from Information Ministry.
And me be a specific question.
Say.
Programs in my year for professional career personal development. I'm on Central for
General. No, so question you will be sami unim. The best person pa me pese that ko beba better obe cheche because me unse waka wan sempen. Me nua ba Fati Abubakar.
Tuesday no ha.
Yes. Chese nokre ni aban no ye bia say ye betimi am Central for the needed skills to operate. I say abayna da ewo sa skills training ne ho dia niem kame na o ya adwene na emom no yanjintum say aban o ye progressive say kwan be na ye befa so a say bi ye nsentro dwuma no so enmunyam bebam na ebegina brane ye ba ye menya sure say ye tete nsentro for say aban be hwedi say me tete nsentro for never ana ye won krofo bi so ma be wura mo dwuma nim so a nsentro ntete ye na nka so mo so mfa nya dwuma ethically speaking womo no so cause havoc in the system. Etino Chairman General futo no be kwa masafo no so say matcha say bi mu the partisan na be remu no mo hwe hunu say womo dwuma no ye dwuma emu odunti na constitution na create di ama wo wo say ye di ani die so nko so man say 20 central for no so ekoto aba no be say mo nkoto ma Dr. Baumia no so mese pa ne baby akwa akoto no mrashe bedwani o no so no na wato e di ama no nkoto esoro ho number 1 enye no nko electoral commission for amokoto aba no monto MPP Chairman General.
Yes sir.
So we say 8 days to go who wins December post 80 MPP votes na na ye say ye no 80 no votes so every vote count enunti appeal no e koma wo mo koto special voting ni say mo na modi kan ko hwe ade na gum na chenchirenche na nkasa yi ne ho nyame ya domo a December 7th no eti munko bie kwan no na fe Ghana civilians na nkasa voter population no almost so emetu ni boom emfama Dr. Baumia. And as we speak Chairman General me as a student of research class no I didn't say research must serve as a guide into me findings ba e koma yen ya me obi a mentan tontwene the bottom line is what they say as a guy then can hold he said the prof the other by you say or the ababe to ja ama ya hunu say constitution no guarantees 50+1 based on no the no the by you know 50+1 anko amaye na emomu no your commanding lead eno nkyere say ye betena ho no complacency I was see etimi ya adwuma within a week way e push ade na near cross 50 no e dey echo 51 and now 52 now fe no ye win convincingly eti yen na yes adwuma no me I'm of the firm beliefs that God believes in effort and the amount of effort I dey be share your campaign him no and no na nyame be crown here with glory na emomu no se koba se ye de ho kototo se bi spiritual matters na bia sofu panyini ya be kan sem wei enu ntini na me kra me nana me nkonko ye adwuma ye sofu panyini na wono no e kan asem na nyankopon no so obo ye nyina no ama conscience wono so sesen ana me dia meti hear me I believe in effort wo ye adwuma nyame gina so e ma dia open ne bem enu nti na ye campaign na ye honestly your message resonate well with the voter population many Dr. Matthew Poko Prempe now our able running mate campaign na ye chairman general across the country ye call na say papa no kase wie and sometimes you could see joy any asem na work no crofo ni bi kra timi sa beto aso ma no ye call baby ye call pro ye call sene in fact ye drew prime na his holiness Tijania Muslim panyini pa no his holiness o hwe Dr. Napodin was say you are going to be the next vice president ana medie me ye Christoni I believe in effort me ntimi so san rubbish obi so ani so ade hunu because e bia ye ke no so no e nyankopon ene na akasa but ni nyina achi no ye firo nam say yenko ya dwuma na sana sem na wokan nyame anu nyam na embrem enti se okan ye no yanko anko ya dwuma de won ye wakan ba yanko ye ho dwuma emem ba ye ko ye ho dwuma na ye timi e magana 40 years say ni sentina moma ye nsantina ban mu because all over the world amanya tumpon a omanyon bibia die no it took one party to build the economy unless we need programs we need policies so we a party now ba bemu na policies eboa shape the destiny of the country ye keep in government for many years yanko Malaysia yanko Australia yanko China Latvia sa countries we nyina no edru babia party back up to me babu a bit so 20 years a bit me ko 30 years because someone says our party no or programs na Ghana Dr. Baumia eka digital economy awojitum say ewiase no baby a akwakodru no say wan keka ho ewiase na ekọ agyaw eno nti no say ewiase na akogina say we've ushered ourselves into fourth industrial revolution na nani abre say we need to digitize this economy no cancer na omampanyina wabedi ne de awie John Dramani Mahama no so kan kokon ketenkete eti no there's a sharp contrast between Dr. Baumia idea ekrano any adwempo person de chiche oman as against former President John Dramani Mahama. In fact adwene that Dr. Baumia trim any that Dr. Former President Mahama mampanyina wabedi ne de awie no de ani trim no eti se mamponkun no Prof etise mamponkun na da ho
onim said Kwame Achampong.
Yes, my chairman.
As Eastern Regional Minister or chairman during the Defense and Interior.
Our able chairman and able regional minister.
Or say Obo Abasu HR no pay.
Me generous. Now a guy chairman so say a chairman there. So no me no. Some me no na nkasa no.
Really papa.
And papa no transport.
There be yam mo bi e din bi.
You boni din.
Set Kwame Champo lie wo the chairman no pay.
Name me friend encoding.
Encoding. And Yenya Bako George Brown. I was Bremen, Germany, or see Uti and Opay. Into George Brown, say, Mad Lion, Fushidim, Semen Kancho Collins, say, O Canum, Kakahum, said there are 2 new fire service training schools in Dwyer and Kwanta in Ahafo and Wale Wale in Northeast region.
Yes.
And then Biggie in Kaswa says, tell Chief Binding, God endorses the choice of his people. The people have chosen Baumia. Biggie, I'm not sure Chief Binding would agree with you on this one. But when him say a classmate, Jato Ekobium.
Yes.
Inti Jato Ewa Krachi. Yeah, Krachi East. Inti Francis Ewa Dambai Woti region. Say Yambon Pai Menia Jato Ewa Krachi East. Oko as MP. Inti Yenya Jato. We did.
Now here OT
a classroom alliance.
I'm privy to other survey. Chama, you know I deal with intelligence. Or no, so no, it's on top. You know, or on consolidating my now on G seat in the back. We are with him.
Say them upon.
And the weapon there and the Friday no. Chama obey mamre. Obey mamre.
Nyame Prof.
Yes, sir.
You been who answer na election now?
Oh, yes. Nyame aduma enyumre ni aka on the analysis ni nyina no. Ye de bebre ye for decision
time.
Yeah, enyumre nti no. Ni obisa Western region dynamics no. Ni ametimi aka ache ni sisi ni say Western region was 17 constituencies. So constituency 17 no. I distributed 6 2 3.
Hey, anything?
6 2 3 ni 6 safe for NPP. 6 na kano tight but likely NPP. 2 na eshehono tight but likely NDC. And the remaining 3 no safe NDC. 3 na safe. Meaning say decision time as so yemwa.
Na say so pebieti.
6 are okay, mami more tie for no.
Me too.
Tie for no ye. So that we can 6 and then 2 into 8. 8 constituencies are higher tight our Western region. First 6 no tight there, but MPP betimi win. They include Shama, Wasa East, Isikado, Ketan, Amenfi East, Ahanta West, and Prestia Huni Valley. Tight. In fact, Prestia Huni Valley were interesting dynamics be independent candidates nibi throw into the game. Into above the NDC and the MPP candidates no struggle because the independent
candidates Valley
Barbara Tinges.
Yes. You call Bogos. Yes.
Yeah. And you know, where we have visited Hobby, I say it is a likely seat the MPP can win, even though still up for classified as tight.
Yeah.
Especially there is an independent candidate who is trying to pull the weights apart, the votes apart. And see, Amenfi East, Ahanta West, Prestia Huni Valley, Zikado Ketan, Wasa East, and Ashama. 6 tight seats. MPP show lead. Kakra ewo honumwa. If they are able to work 4 weeks to election, I will not be surprised if these 6 seats will be won. So yes, answer the NDC should work hard and then switch the seats into an NDC. And Jomro and Memphis Central, and so seats are competition. In fact, as at the time when we me at the November 16th, now tight with the inclusion of the independent candidates. But then them say it will be likely NDC. Me and we will be abem.
And Jomoro Memphis Central is likely to be NDC.
Tight but likely NDC.
Okay.
And now near. Okay, so my mobile tight for now. Obia tete the film no who near safe no. I'm saying because safe so and makomo be competitive advantage. So the safe seats for MPP for me are 6 in Western region, and then if they work hard, they are likely to get some 6. Okay. Because those 6 are tight, but they are likely winnable for MPP. Mabobo. And Namabo, those that are tight, but they are likely or almost winnable by the NDC, Jomronia, Memphis Central. And then the rest to the right and to the left, safe for the NDC. Enti saa net here Western region. Wa be am more constituency be a wa onim say safe MPP o, safe NDC o wa o ya we.
Enti Lejokuku Okobo ebefa.
Lejokuku ye tight. Me what me ha say is tight. Enti e can tight constituencies. In fact, Greater Accra tight constituencies near 1, 2, 3, 4. Enti Greater Accra map no so hwa 11 Greater Accra. Okay, Greater Accra 11, 7, 16.
As you saying
11 NPP constituencies are NPP betimi winning with some effort or little effort. 11 and 7 nation finfini no yet tight. Enti they should work very hard in those 7, and then 16 so yeah safe for NDC. NDC betimi winning without much stress. Enti 7 no a yet tight e wo Greater Accra no. I think tight in the betimi abona omomu ye adwuma ne nya ne ye. Tight for Greater Accra, Ayawaso Central, Weja Bawe, Ayawaso West Wogon, Greater Accra, Lejokuku, Kole Klote, and Ablekuma.
It could go anyway.
Yes.
That seat will be anyway.
Yes, tight. And 16 and the other four say.
16 seats in Greater Accra there. We are sure say NDC befa.
Oh yes.
And how many seats na MPP befa? 11.
Yes.
Enti na aka 7.
Aka 7. 7, 3 and 4. 7. Age and Finfini.
Okay.
So 7 no. We wish all.
And anybody's game.
Yeah.
By more than.
Enti 7 near Wejak Bawe.
7 near Wejak Bawe. Lejokuku.
I also West Wogon. Okay.
My member born in this order. Member born Wejak Bawe. Ayawaso Central. Ayawaso West Wogon. And Sanama Bebobo, Lejokuku, Kole Klote, Ablekuma West, and Adentan.
Interesting.
Na chairman na no crane say Lejokuku Okoboy. Ewo hwa. Hwa na koto abama no. Hwa na koto abama na bibisa wo. Okoto abama MP a wo koto awade. Ya to abama NDC ya koto awade ewo parliament.
Prof Bekacho say it is not that simple.
I also was to go there. Man leave our rain area.
It is not that simple.
Yeah.
Prof, I mean that's decision time. Mo fam feeding and to na decision time beba. Ba enyumre Professor Sapo Yebehe about to Musem Collins chief. My friend chief sir, I'm finishing Collins.
Jama Usama kwa
Collins Usama kwa friend chief debia. Eja my classmate. 80 decision time beba. In the meantime, Augustine Nkrumah, your former maths teacher, was saying Louis SHS, former Grassack president, UTA, Massachusetts, USA. Yes, we chow and a paper papa. And yes, say Maggie D, our Parliament of Ghana. Happy birthday to Maggie D of Parliament of Ghana from Stephen Odoylabi, A.K. Shasha, Vice Dean of the Parliamentary Press Corps. Prof, that's Anope.
Yes, sir, Brackon.
Chief, that's Anope. Best wishes to you. Na sieke se koma wa do a fidia 2 piece 104.3 Abisi Samre. Kofi Kumbilson is next. May your weekend be good. Stomp into it nicely, yeah? We're back on Monday morning, God willing. It will be the 2nd of December. Keep your dreams and hopes alive is all you have. And as always, when you stop to say a prayer, say one for me too. God bless. Good morning.